Chair.
Call David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not a lawyer either, Mr. Chair, but I felt compelled just to say a few words. Thank you, Joe. It's very kind of you. I just wanted to say a few words on this bill because I think, as a number of people have said, it actually cuts to the heart of what makes us a fair and just society, giving access for everybody to the same quality of legal services and legal aid. And that's really what the Part 1, the purpose of the Act actually says. And it says provides legal services to people of insufficient means. That means everybody gets the same type of justice. It means that people who are do not have the right sort of money can still get a first-class representation. I think that's one of the key things that's actually around what's happening here. That in fact, according to the Baisley report, it's not only less cost-effective. It's not only being rorted to some degree, and I don't want to overstate that because obviously that was a controversy that came up over the last over the weeks when the Baisley report came out. But it also, I think, is important to actually provide people with an ability to have confidence that they are receiving the same sort and the same quality of legal representation that they would do if they had a lot of money and can go out and track down what they think was the best lawyer. Coming back to the Baisley report, it's worth mentioning a couple of the things that she brought up in the context of why this piece of legislation is going through, and it cuts to the second part, which delivers those services in the most effective and efficient manner. Now, the Minister mentioned that the hole, if you like, or the gap in our ability to pay for our system as it stands at the moment is around $400 million. This will do something, I believe, in tightening that gap up. It tests some of the old, in a sense, the old rules, the old laws, certainly the old ways of working amongst in the legal profession, and in terms of how the legal profession is enabled and continue to work, and enables us to get the best quality and the best standards for the money that we put out. So, in a sense, the Baisley report focused on, which is the complaints to the Law Society of dishonest behaviour, and as I said before, that was something that came up, was talked about. Perhaps many of the lawyers felt rather aggrieved that they were being tarred by the actions of a few. But certainly what it did seem to suggest that the lawyers and defendants were colluding to make sure that the cases lasted as long as possible. And they were able to, by mutual arrangement, ensure that they were able to obtain the largest degree of fees that they would otherwise be able to receive as a result of the case that they were prosecuting and defending. So hopefully, Mr. Chair, and the reason that this party is also supporting this bill is to make sure that, one, that the people of New Zealand are confident whether they have the sufficient means or not, they have the money or they don't have the money, they are able to get the best legal defence that anybody else is able to get. There's an element of fairness which cuts to the heart of this bill. And that secondly, that taxpayers are also confident that the people who are providing that representation are doing so in an effective and efficient manner, so that it enables taxpayers and society more generally to be able to know that they are getting fair representation. One thing I guess is, which in a sense the bill in some ways doesn't specifically comment on, but a couple of questions. I mean, how the quality of legal representation in the smaller areas, can we be sure that in those smaller centres we are going to be getting the sort of the high quality legal representation that people in those areas deserve as they might do in, say, an Auckland or a Wellington or a Dunedin or a Napier, for example.
Chair. Call